Okay, it's 9:30. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to mute everybody, and I should probably mute myself. No, I'll mute everybody else, and that will cut down the background noise a little bit. Yes, okay, there we go. But by all means, unmute yourself if you have a question, you want to ask something. I'm going to talk about, our focus, of course, is on declarative play. I want to talk about the hold-up play a little bit. And I want to talk about the advantages of not taking your ace, perhaps, on the first trick. Here's an instance. I don't have an entire handout, just some hearts and some clubs. And we're playing in a no trump contract. Usually when you're defending no trump, the opponents want to lead their longest suit, which makes sense. They're trying to set up winners in their long suits at the same time you're trying to set up winners in your long suits. And if you take the let's say that you win the first trick with your ace of hearts, and then what? We need to develop tricks in the clubs. So if I play the clubs and then the opponents win with the ace at some point, what are they going to lead back? Of course, they'll lead the hearts, and the opponents who led from lots of hearts will end up taking the rest of the heart tricks, and you don't get any of your clubs or anything else. So the way to give yourself a chance with this, it's not 100%, but it is going from a zero. It's one of those things where you go from a 0% chance to a 50% chance, for instance. When I show you this this situation, you can see that West led from a 5-card suit, ace, king, queen, jack, 10, 9 in hearts. And if I don't take my ace until they've played their third heart, the nice thing is that one of my opponents will have run out of hearts. It's my opponent on the right. West still, of course, has 2 of them. They've become a dangerous opponent. If West gets on lead, they can now cash those 2 hearts. And if I'm in 3 no trump, I'm now down 1 trick. But in this case, by holding up until the third trick, I've given myself a 50-50 chance of making the contract. As long as that ace of clubs is in the east hand, then I don't have to, he doesn't have any hearts left to lead back to his partner. Interestingly, if he did have 1 heart to lead back to his partner, it would mean that his partner only started with 1 as well. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If I set up the hand, and let's say that I move one of these cards, I'll move the 9 of hearts over to the other side. So in this instance, we have 4 on this side and 4 on this side. Let's just count how many we're going to lose. Let's say we still hold up on the third trick. So they've taken 1, and now they take 2, and now we take the third one with the jack. Now let's look at the situation here. Each side has 1 heart left, and we obviously haven't run anybody out of hearts. And as before, we have to drive out the ace of hearts, of clubs. And now they've won their third trick, and they can lead a heart back. But the interesting thing is that they only get 1 because they were divided 4-4. So the opponents have taken 4 tricks, but not 5. If they take 4 but not 5, you can still make your 3 no trump contract. So the key is in how the opponent's cards divide. If we look at some examples in this situation, let's say that the opponents lead the king of hearts. You want to think about how many hearts they have. And you notice that we have 5. That means the opponents have 8. And if you think about how 8 cards are likely to be divided, it's 5 and 3, 5 on one side and 3 on the other. And usually the player making the lead, unless they're leading their partner's suit, they're going to be the ones with the long hearts, the ones with the 5. Keeping in mind that if the hearts are 4 and 4, they can't defeat your contract purely on hearts and 1 more trick. But if they are 5 and 3, they do have the potential to defeat your contract. So the question becomes, when you take your ace, how many cards are left in your right-hand opponent's hand? And when you look at all the cards, if we take our ace on the third trick, then our right hand opponent will be out of hearts at that point. One more example. Let's say that this is our holding and the opening lead is the king of hearts. This time we have 6 hearts. The opponents have 7. So we expect those to be divided 4 and 3. Once again, if we hold up our ace until the 3rd trick, our right-hand opponent should be out of hearts. And if our right-hand opponent is also holding the entry, that ace of clubs, then they won't be able to lead hearts back to their partner. Here's another example, the opening lead, the king of hearts. Now, by the time we take our ace in this instance, let's think about that situation. We have 6 hearts, the opponents have 7. If he's leading from 4 and his partner has 3, unfortunately, we can't hold up enough to keep our right-hand opponent out of hearts. Our right-hand opponent has 3, we only have 2. So there, in this instance, there's nothing we can do to protect the contract. We are advantaged in that one side doesn't have 5 hearts. So they only get to take 3 of them, but they can take the ace of clubs and 3 heart tricks. That's 4 tricks. So it may not be too bad. One more example. Again, the king of hearts is led. And this is a similar situation. We have 5 hearts. The opponents have 8. And if we expect them to divide, if they divide as we expect them to, with 5 cards on one side, including the king was part of that, and 3 on the other, unfortunately, we have to take our ace on the 2nd trick, and there's nothing we can do to prevent them from taking all the rest of their hearts. So if you're in a sad situation like this, we only have 4. The opponents have 9. And those tend to divide 5 and 4, which means there's really nothing we can do again. So, I mean, there are hopeless situations, but there are also situations where holding up your ace until the last moment, the last possible moment, is a good thing to do. Now, I want to show you a hand like this. Here's our hand. We're in a contract of 3 no trump. I've got an auction up here. It went 1 no trump, 3 no trump. And the opening lead has been the king of hearts. Let's think about how long we should hold up with this hand. Let's see, we have 5 hearts, so the opponents have 8. So they're probably 5 and 3, 5 on our left, 3 on our right. Now, in theory, we should probably hold up until the 3rd heart trick. But is that true? Let's count our winners in this case. Do we have a vulnerability here? What about these spades? Suppose that we duck the first, let me play it this way. We duck the first heart trick and declare, and West over here looks at the dummy and thinks, well, wait a minute, maybe we've got a better chance if I switch. And they switch instead to playing spades. What happens at this point? Their partner takes the ace of spades, and if we look at their hand, they're now going to rattle off 6 straight spade tricks. What did we do wrong? Let's go back to the beginning on this one. The opening lead again is the king of hearts, and if we play low, before we play, let's pause and plan the play of the hand. If we count our winners, in diamonds, we have 4. In clubs, we have 4. And we have 1 heart, and we have no spades. That's 9 winners. You have to recognize the fact that holding up in this case is foolhardy. It could be deadly. Now, there's no guarantees that the opponents will find the switch. They may blindly keep leading their hearts, but why give them a chance? Win your ace of hearts on the first try, and then switch to playing your diamonds and so on, your diamonds and your clubs. Let me show you another hand. Yeah, we've got just a few minutes. Let's show you another hand where a holdup might be effective. Let's come all the way down. Here we've got an auction. This hand opened 2 clubs, a strong 2 clubs. Our partner says 2 diamonds. waiting, 2 diamonds waiting, lacking a good suit. We rebid 2 no trump, showing 22 to 24 balanced, and our partner has no majors to bid, so they mentioned 3 no trump, and 3 no trump becomes the final contract. So if we count our winners, and that's the first thing we need to do, I'll go from right to left this time. In diamonds we have 2, in clubs we have 4, in hearts we have 1. That brings us up to 7. In spades we don't have any winners yet, but we can develop 2 tricks using promotion. We can drive out the ace of spades with our king and promote the queen and jack into winners. So that will get us the contract, as long as we don't immediately win the ace of hearts. And the danger is, if we do win the ace of hearts, what's left behind now is that both hands, our right hand opponent and our left hand opponent, they both have some hearts left. When one of them wins the ace of spades, they can lead them back. So the correct way to play this is to duck. Let's see, let's duck a few times. Let me just do this with the robots that way. Not take the first heart, let them lead another heart, and again, not take that one. And since we're expecting our left-hand opponent to have 5 of them and our right-hand opponent to have 3, at this point, our right-hand opponent should be out of hearts. That's good news. Now, if they're holding the ace of spades, they can't lead a heart back. If West is holding the ace of spades, then there's nothing we can do. They will win the next 3 tricks and we will be down 1. But we've given ourselves a 50-50 chance. In truth, it's a little better than 50-50. If we think about the fact that West has shown up with 6 high card points, the king, queen, jack of hearts. For them to also have the ace of spades might be a little unlikely, but not entirely. In any case, we must develop the spades. So we want to take our losers early and let them win as soon as they can. And there comes the ace of spades. Now, hopefully they don't have a heart, and they don't. So we're in good shape. We can now win our 4 club tricks. We can take our 2 spade tricks, which is good. And now all we really have to do is take the rest of our losers. We'll lose this little spade at the end, but the rest of our hand is good. Okay, so that's the basics of the hold-up play. We're going to do some more next week on watching out for the opponents. We're going to look for where our dangerous opponent might be and how to keep the dangerous opponent from getting on lead if we can identify him. There's a nice heart discard, the jack. I like seeing that. And I'm going to finish making my contract. Okay, if anyone has any questions, please unmute and ask. Otherwise, we're going to be done, and we've got our 10 o'clock game and our 12:20 game. I'm in Cambria, by the way, at Moonstone Beach today. Yesterday was our wedding anniversary, and Monday is my birthday.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Run.
Oh,
Thank you all.
Mojo, can I ask a quick question?
Sure, Liza.
The opening bid on this hand,
Mm-hmm.
it's 2 clubs, not 2 no trump?
Let's count the hand. Let's see, 10, 17, 18, 22. It's 22-point hand.
Right, but I thought with a balanced hand and 20 to 22, you open 2 no trump.
2021. 2020.
Okay, thank you.
With 22, you start with 2 clubs and then rebid 2 no
Go
trump.
back. Okay, thank you. You're right. Surprise, huh?
It's been known to happen. It's been known to happen.
Funny.
Okay, thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mojo.
See you in the clubs.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, happy anniversary, you two.
Yep, thank
Yeah.
you.
Happy.
All right.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Have fun. Bye-bye.